From the ashes of humble beginnings, rise the sense of regeneration, signaling the dawn of a new age. The foundations of the old and antiquated, now demolished, and in its place the newly built pillars of fearlessness and opportunity. Dreams are clearer, expectations are set higher, and the quest for championship gold is even stronger than it's ever been before. At one time or another, everything goes through a period of evolution. The world of wrestling is no different. Welcome to a new age. Welcome to a new era. Welcome to a new FWE.
From inside the historic hallowed grounds of Madison Square Garden, we welcome you to the inaugural episode of FWE Saturday Night Smash. It's the second night of the FWE draft, as I'm Seth Cole alongside of Jack Mitchell. And Jack, so many individuals now know where they're headed after this past Thursday night's events, but we still got a lot more names in the draft pool, and they'll get their fate determined here tonight.
That they will. Really looking forward to seeing who joins us here on Saturday night. This is the brand that I got drafted to, in fact, and we're going to take a look at everything right here as you can see who got drafted to Thursday night on night one of the FWE draft.
Black Pearl Crew, the first draft pick for Thursday nights. The Disney Queens join them. Moana, who's got a shot at the Women's Universal Championship here tonight. A lot of former champions in here, like Robbie Gilman, Jessica Shelton, Carson Gum, the Old Holy Union, and RJ Bishop, who is currently still under a suspension, somehow has been drafted to Woody's Thursday night brand.
Yeah, really interesting to see what comes out of that, what Woody's reasonings were for drafting RJ Bishop. Maybe we'll hear from him either tonight, if not tonight, maybe in the coming weeks.
And on Saturday nights, a familiar face there in the middle left corner there, but some unusual faces, some new faces as well. Spider-Man comes in as the number one pick. His arch nemesis Kraven also headed to Saturday nights.
Some big names out here like the Daughters of Thanos, who just retained the women's tag team titles last Thursday. The Gotham Inmates as well being drafted, and the Family as well. You know what I mean? Defending their tag team titles for the time being here on Saturday nights.
Former Intercontinental Champion and Dylan Pote, former Cruiserweight Champion Susan Storm, former Tri-Wizard Champion and Shaggy Rogers. It's going to be interesting to see how all these men and women do on their respective brands on Thursdays and Saturday nights as we head backstage for some more draft picks.
Good evening. I'm very pleased to welcome you all to the first official episode of Saturday Night Smash. This past Thursday, we made some amazing draft picks for our roster, and tonight will be no different. First pick of the night will heavily boost our women's roster. Saturday Night Smash selects the collective group of Disney Strong Style.
Massive pick for Saturday nights. Yes, they came off the losing end inside of Lost Empire Lockdown, but Disney Strong Style, Keto with the Hardcore Championship, they will now be a part of Saturday Night Smash going forward.
As will a new name. We've got Dr. Eggman being selected to Saturday Night Smash alongside the Rockers, Anthony McCreary and Cole Eastwood, and Elastigirl are going to be joining us here on Saturdays.
Elastigirl, a former Women's Universal Champion, the Rockers, former holders of the tag team titles.
After the events of this past Thursday night, it would appear that a rivalry has not yet reached a conclusion. And so therefore, Thursday Night Throwdown drafts Nick Gunther.
Wow!
Whoa!
You go back this past Thursday night, we saw Nick Gunther, William Turner lock up one-on-one in the ring. Gunther will be a part of Thursday Night Throwdown. You've also got some former champions making up the lower third there. Former tag team champions and Team Let It Go, former cruiserweight champion in Black Widow, and a former cruiserweight champion in Harry Potter. But I think the thing that stands out the most to me here, Jack, is RJ Bishop, Nick Gunther. They're both on Thursday nights.
I guess we're not done with the vicious and delicious rivalry after all. These two are going to be both showing up on Thursdays, and we'll see how that all plays out.
We now get ready for tag team action, fatal four-way tornado style for tonight's opener.
The following contest is a fatal four-way tag team match. Introducing first, at a combined weight of 456 pounds, and the Republic.
Anakin Skywalker, Obi-Wan Kenobi, we found out this past Thursday night they will be a part of the Saturday Night Smash roster, and big opportunity here tonight to get back into the tag team title picture. They've been number one contenders before, but never been able to grasp the gold.
And that's what this matchup here to open the show is all about. We're going to see some teams trying to work their way towards potentially being some future number one contenders.
And their opponents. First, at a combined weight of 504 pounds. And Joe
Kind of interesting when you look at the Gotham inmates. They collectively were drafted to Saturday Night Smash. Harley Quinn currently holds championship gold. Poison Ivy, a former women's world champion. But Joker and Penguin have kind of been spinning their wheels in the tag team division. Now, I know that obviously we will see some jumping ship from time to time. Representatives of Thursday Night will be on Saturday Night episodes and vice versa. But with this brand extension, it seems like now the rosters are going to be a little bit more condensed. Could this change of scenery be exactly what Joker and Penguin need to finally get themselves into the tag team title picture?
It very well could. There's a lot less names to focus on when you're just worried about the names from one brand, and all you really have to do is get through those names to really establish yourself at the top of maybe half the roster, but that could be just enough to get yourself all the TV time, all the big name appearances on one brand. That could be all it takes to put yourself right in the tag team title contention.
making their way to the ring at a combined weight of 574 pounds. Team EB and the Saints, Nicholas, the Hurt Business.
I'll mention about the fact that the previous two teams that made their way down to ringside, they already know where they are headed. The same cannot be said for the Easter Bunny and Santa Claus, the Hurt Business. And with this ongoing draft here tonight, this is, in a sense, for both these individuals, kind of a job interview, an opportunity to kind of maybe turn the heads of Nick Fury and Woody respectively and say, hey, with what we were able to do here tonight in this tag team matchup, you're going to want us on your brand ASAP.
And I can relate to that. That's the reason why I was so into trying to get a match on the draft card when we had this past Thursday episode. I was trying to get the attention of our general managers. I mean, that could very well be what these two are doing here tonight, especially for a team that, in a similar situation to the Gotham Inmates, kind of spinning their wheels when it comes to the tag team title picture.
And their opponents, at a combined weight of 346 pounds, Blue Jay and Big Italiano, the Cleaners.
Well, another tag team that is yet to be drafted here, but unlike the other three teams that are down at ringside already, these two, the Mario Brothers, they have actually formerly held the men's Disney Tag Team titles.
Albeit for 1 week, but they did have a very impressive title victory over the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. That was all the way back at Fallout before the Ninja Turtles ended up winning them back, and they've changed hands since then. But big opportunity here for the Mario Bros here tonight to reestablish themselves among the tag team division.
And we've seen during the course of Thursday night and the early stages of this evening as well, a number of former champions in the tag team division have been drafted to the respective brands. You got to think that Mario Luigi can't be that far behind here in the draft order, but could elevate themselves in that order if they're able to pick up a victory here tonight. And again, we ended up seeing tornado-style rules in the tag match for the tag titles for the women's side in the main event this past Thursday night. Same type of ruling here, though there's no titles up for grabs. First pinfall, first submission gets the victory, but with 8 participants, it's gonna be chaos.
I do not envy our referee, Ernest Wright. This is going to be absolute madness. We've seen some of these teams actually as well participated in a similar matchup all the way back at our Combat Evolved PLE, so some experience for those teams in this type of chaotic matchup.
Absolutely, here is...
Oh my goodness.
I feel bad for Ernest Wright, but I feel bad for us too. Where do we look?
I don't even know where to look. There was one cover. I think Santa had a Joker, but there was a kick out at 1. Another cover here, Luigi onto the Penguin and broken up before 1.
Yeah, and the trouble here as well is obviously if Luigi has a cover on somebody, Mario's not going to break it up, but there's 6 other individuals that are going to be more than willing to break it up here, because if this was an elimination style, you'd probably have people less likely to try and break up the pinfall, but since it's one pinfall, one submission, everybody is going to be on you to make sure that that pinfall submission doesn't take place. Is Anakin able to, I'm not sure if he got assistance or if he kicked out of that attempt by Mario.
I think it was broken up at 1, or before 1. Now we see some of the action spill to the outside of the ring. This might be what some of the tag teams are actually looking for here, is to have the action go to the outside, because then there's less people between the ropes to break anything up. Anakin got caught with that kendo stick.
Yeah, of course, with it being a tornado-style matchup, there's no countouts, no disqualifications, so the introduction of that kendo stick is perfectly legal in this type of a matchup, as referee Ernest Wright kind of sandwiched there in the corner by Santa and Joker.
We've had a rough go of it ever since we've entered this new era here in FWE, but
probably been the one person that hasn't enjoyed the new era.
Hopefully he gets paid well. Big back fist there by Obi-Wan. Now only 3 people in between the ropes here, so this is what these teams might want.
Easter Bunny on the outside. He's creepy enough as it is. We had a kendo stick in hand, taking it to both Anakin and Luigi. Penguin on the far side there, locked up with Mario. Normally I'd be saying out in front of us. It's kind of unusual us having this commentary table up here on the staging area. I'm not used to this at all. I have to squint to kind of see down to the ring.
Kind of a strange POV here. We at least have these monitors, though. That'll kind of help us out a little bit.
Springboard clothesline by Santa on Obi-Wan Kenobi. You've got right now, well, now as Penguin enters in, I was going to say you had a representative of each tag team in the matchup, but now little 2v1v1 advantage, I guess you could say, for the Gotham Inmates. And that's kind of the thing, too, that's difficult, is to be able to manage the numbers game when there's so many numbers to have to manage.
Anakin with a cover here on the Easter Bunny. I believe there was is just broken up. I didn't see any kind of kick out yet from the Easter Bunny, who's still motionless after all that. We got all kinds of bodies right now on the mat.
Obi-Wan,
Oh my
gosh,
goodness.
just threw that kendo stick. I think he's more akin to swinging a lightsaber, but a kendo stick's, I guess, not that far off.
Never say a Jedi can't throw.
No, for sure.
Probably might have used the Force to make sure it hit its target.
Is that legal in this type of a matchup?
Anything? There are no DQs.
Oh, there's no DQ, you're right. So yeah, anything does go. You see, I believe, on that shot right there, Mario's actually been busted open on the side of his face as he had a arm lock in on Penguin.
Joker was going to work on Obi-Wan outside the ring with a chair.
Mr. Bunny stunned against the ropes. Anakin going for a spinning forearm on Mario. Mario now with a go behind, hits the suplex on Anakin.
His attention to Santa, two jolly men wearing red.
Oh, was going for a ripcord clothesline was Mario. Santa laying in the lefts and rights as if Mario's on the naughty list.
Oh, and a big kick to the back of the head. Spear by Obi-Wan.
And into the cover. Could this be enough? There's really nobody around. As soon as I say that, Joker appears from out of nowhere to break it up.
While all that was going on, I think the Easter Bunny got hit with the steel steps, or somebody did something with the steel steps on the right side of the ring.
Members of the Republic inside of the ring. Anakin with Mario. Joker there with Obi-Wan. Oh, locking in a submission here on Obi-Wan in the corner. Santa was going to break it up.
There's a tap out.
There's a tap out. Anakin was going over to help, and Obi-Wan had to tap out. And the Gotham inmates will win this fatal four-way.
Wow. Inmates have not picked up a win that big in quite some time. They've just got a big one under their belts here, and we got to keep their names in mind for future #1 contendership.
Tough enough to get a pinfall, let alone a tap-out submission in the chaos of this type of matchup. Statement for them. And how about this? Craven will make his in-ring debut. He takes on former champion Dylan Poteet. The FWE draft continues here inside of Madison Square Garden. Saturday Night Smash has brought in their next pick, and dare I say, Jack, it's a bit incredible.
There you go. Mr. Incredible going to be the highlight pick for this round. Some other names in here as well. You got Sam Wilson, Cruella DeVille, and my buddy Baymax as well going to be joining me here on Saturday nights. That should be really interesting.
Cruella DeVille, a former Women's Universal Champion. As you mentioned, Baymax and you locked up at Combat Evolved a week ago this past Thursday night. And also, Mr. Incredible and Elastigirl going to be on the same brand. So it'll be interesting to see if we see a little husband-wife tag team action at some point in the future on Saturday nights.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Making his way to the ring from Louisville, Kentucky, weighing in at 220 pounds.
Dylan Poteet, former Intercontinental Champion. We found out in the very first round of the draft, he will be a part of Saturday Night Smash, and here tonight, in a sense, gets to break in the newcomer in Craven. It's always difficult when you go into a matchup not really knowing much about your opponent. What has got to be on the mind of Poteet here in basically his first match representing his new brand?
Well, I hear some of the reasoning why Craven was interested in this matchup is because he knows that Dylan Poteet has a history with the larger men on the roster, and I think that's what Dylan might have to rely on in this matchup is his strategies when taking on guys like Hades, who he dethroned at one point for that Intercontinental Championship.
Saw Dylan Poteet make his debut in FWE as a villain for RJ Bishop, as you said, was engulfed in a rivalry with the Disciples of Darkness, most notably Hades, who he took that Intercontinental Championship from, and here tonight, gets ready to face off, as you said, against another big individual, getting ready to make his official Fantasy Wrestling Entertainment in-ring debut.
From Moscow, Russia, weighing in at 300 pounds, Hunter K.
Well, we already know that Spider-Man is also a part of Saturday Night Smash. You gotta think that he and Craven's paths will cross at some point, but tell me a little bit of maybe what we can expect from Craven, because I think, much like Poteet, a lot of us not really certain what this guy could bring to the table in between the ropes.
He is big, and he does not go down very easily. He does not necessarily... He can take a lot of strong blows from opponents, and it should be really difficult to bring him down. So Poteet is going to have to really rely on that high-flying offense if he's got any of the tank.
Talked about for a lot of individuals this past Thursday night, here tonight, they're trying to, in a sense, build up their value in the draft. With Craven already knowing that he's going to be a part of Saturday night, what kind of a statement could be made with a victory tonight for him?
A big one. I mean, you win this matchup, you're basically sending a message to anyone who gets drafted on Saturday night or anyone who's already been drafted this Saturday night, what kind of warrior you're about to be in the ring with.
Look at the size of this man.
Oh,
My
man.
goodness.
Statement might have been made right then and there.
Goodness, right hand just floored Dylan Poteet at the word go. That's now a little test of strength there, and maybe no surprise, Craven gets that advantage.
I mentioned he was interested in getting this matchup because he knows what kind of strength Dylan has. Again, it's no small feat being able to take down somebody like Hades, especially when there's a title on the line. So Poteet need to go to that well of knowledge against the larger men if he wants to win this one here tonight.
We mentioned about the fact now as more and more individuals on both the men's and the women's side get drafted to these respective brands, they're now in a sense of building up their resumes, trying to put themselves into #1 contenderships for different titles. Could be the same deal here for these two in this matchup here, as of course we know that the Women's Universal Championship is now going to be on Saturday nights, as well as the Women's Hardcore Championship. I mentioned about this, I kind of highlighted a little bit this past Thursday night, but we know that for Thursday Night Throwdown, they don't have an official Women's World Championship. For Saturday Night Smash, they don't have an official Men's World Championships. From what I understand, that contingency is getting taken care of, though, in the next few weeks.
Now we're going to hear very soon about what those championships are going to be and how those first title holders are going to be determined.
Poteet was trying to go for it. Looked like an airplane head scissors. Did not connect. An elbow to the gut or the chest by Craven only warrants a 1 count on that cover.
Oh, insecurity though by Poteet, going to drop Craven. This is what you want. You want your opponent to be down when they're the bigger man. You want them like this, and that's the exact situation as the springboard moonsault connects.
Taking away that vertical base. Another standing moonsault by Dylan Poteet. Feeding off the crowd here in Madison Square Garden, as right now has Craven on the ropes. Hurricane Rana takes the big man down.
Poteet not done dishing out the high-flying offense, going to the top rope, calling for Craven to get to his feet. Corkscrew arm drag connects.
Again, back to the outside. Poteet turning up the heat, not letting his foot off of the gas. Long ways to go to get to Craven, and too far. Could not hit the drop kick, and that'll jar your tailbone.
It will, and that could be the turning point in this matchup because that gave Craven a moment to recover and now going right back to that offense.
Wrenching the leg there, trying to maybe take away that high-flying offense of Poteet. Ground him. Now Poteet thought he might be having to use the ropes for support to get back to a vertical base. A little dazed and confused for the moment, and Craven looks to take advantage of that.
Right hands, those punches have been lethal so far in this matchup, and now Dylan in a bad spot. Oh, man. And you see those drops, those back drops onto the ring apron all the time here, but doesn't get any less painful.
Both individuals on the outside of the ring, and this may be dangerous for Poti because, you know, you can kind of get a sense of where someone's comfortable, and by the look of Craven, I think outside of the ring is a domain he'd be very at home at.
Absolutely, but he missed with that elbow drop to the outside of the ring, and that allowed Poti to get back on his feet.
Ernest Wright currently at a count of 3. Poti, oh, nice double arm backbreaker to Craven.
They're still not making their way back into the ring, and the referee's at a 5 count. Eventually, they got to get between the ropes, so we're going to have a double count out.
Oh, Craven, not sure what he was going for there. It did not hit. Referee at a count of 8, and now both men will make their way back inside of the ring here.
Oh, with a drop kick to dodge that punch from Craven. Now Craven back up to his feet.
Oh, look out. Oh, gosh. Referee Ernest Wright in the wrong place at the wrong time. Head-on collision with Craven, who then just met that drop kick head-on.
The drop kick then rolled right to the outside to give himself a moment, but he's in trouble. Big DDT.
Oh, springboard senton by Poteet. I believe he might have caught the lower leg area there of Craven, and Craven's been busted open. Flying forearm in the corner.
Drop there from Poteet.
Going up top. What does
And trying to
Poteet
work
have
his
in
way
mind
up.
here?
Top rope Hurricane Rana connects.
Now with the go behind.
no way.
Oh no, Verta breaker! Onto the back of the neck of Craven. Cover is in, and Poteet will pick up the victory.
This is why Craven wanted the matchup. He knows what Dylan can do to the larger men. I don't think he was expecting this.
Well, he issued the challenge. Poteet answers with the vertebreaker, and Poteet gets his first victory as a member of the Saturday Night Smash roster.
So wonder too, he might want to go for that mid-card championship glory again. He'll have to go for the United States Championship here, but nevertheless, still a great result for him here tonight at the draft.
A couple of former women's Disney Tag Team champions gonna go one-on-one here tonight. Tag team action seems Team Let It Go taking on Mystery Incorporated. That's up next here on Saturday Night Smash. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we mentioned that we were going to be making the announcement tonight. Jack, I hope you're feeling at home here in New York City because we're coming back in December. Officially, our second trip to Paramount will take place here in New York.
Yeah, New York just seems to be the home of FWE right now. I mean, we've got the Fantasy Dome here, we've got the draft taking place here. It only makes sense that our second edition of Paramount is coming back to the Big Apple. We cannot wait to be here for the show of shows. Looking forward to December 6th.
Absolutely cannot wait for sure. Incredible city, and cannot wait to get back to Paramount. Still a long ways to go till we get to that point. Multiple PLEs, and we still got some drafting to do tonight. Next up, it's Thursday Night Throwdown, and they get ready to take a tag team in the women's division, Catching Fireflies. Now, these two have formerly won the Female Fighting Championship in singles competition, yet to get the tag team title belts, but a great pick there for TNT.
Absolutely, they're going to enjoy that one. And Hades is also going to like this one because he gets to stay on the same brand as Nick Gunther. But he's not going to like the fact that Hercules, his arch rival, also got drafted to that brand. Ezio as well going to be joining them on Thursdays.
What are the odds we end up having Hades and Hercules drafted in the same round together? Just seems a little apropos, if you ask me.
Absolutely does.
The following contest is a tag team match set for one fall. On the way to the ring, and Pretty Mean Sisters.
Well, we saw Team Let It Go, a part of Thursday Night Throwdown's roster. Earlier on tonight, the announcement made by Woody, drafted in the same round along with Nick Gunther, Black Widow, and Harry Potter. And an opportunity here for them tonight, along with Mystery Incorporated, to try and get themselves back into the tag team title pictures. Team Let It Go has held the belts formally twice. Mystery Incorporated has held them once. We saw the Daughters of Thanos successfully defend the titles this past Thursday night.
Always be a good chance for momentum in these these non-title matchups here on the tag team side. I can't remember if we've actually seen these two tag teams lock up before in the ring here, so this would be a first-time matchup on Saturday.
I believe that they have, but I don't believe it was one-on-one. I believe they were involved in a triple threat tables match back in the day. I don't remember exactly when. I'm trying to remember who the third team was, and I believe Mystery Incorporated ended up winning that matchup. It was then at the time for the title belts.
Certainly have to dig back into the archives to find that one, but like you said, this will just be standard one-on-one tag team action here.
And you have to think that the Daughters of Thanos would obviously be backstage watching this matchup here, as they know that they're going to have challengers on all fronts from both Thursday and Saturday night's rosters vying for that #1 contendership for those tag team belts.
And an interesting point as well is that Team Let It Go, they've already been drafted to Thursdays. They don't have to necessarily worry about the draft side of things anymore. Mystery Inc. still TBD on what brand they end up on.
That's a good point. I mean, we know Shaggy Rogers, he's already been drafted to Saturday Night Smash, but this is kind of one of those cases that we talked about where factions, tag teams don't necessarily get drafted together. It wasn't the collective Mystery Incorporated that got drafted, it was just Shaggy, so Daphne Blake and Velma Dinkley, their fate still to be determined.
Big kick there and a cover on Anna right out of the gate, kick out at 1.
Went for a pump kick, I believe, right there. Did Daphne. Anna able to sidestep it and scores the DDT.
Big uppercut there by Anna.
Now the tag in to Elsa. Been quite a while since Mystery Incorporated has held the tag team championships. Team Let It Go, they've held them more recently. Lost them to the Disney Queens, who then ended up losing them to the Unholy Union, who lost them back to the Disney Queens, who lost them to the Daughters of Thanos. You mentioned this on Thursday night. Those women's tag team title belts, they have been hot potatoed around quite a bit here in these last few months.
That they have. I think it's only fitting that those are some of the titles that are going to be floating across both brands. So let's see how the momentum goes for both of these teams, and we'll see if they have anything to say about maybe getting themselves into the tag team title picture after getting a series of wins. This is probably what this matchup is here, the first step towards getting wins on your side and having a case to contend for those titles.
Yeah, as we say, it kind of seems now that we are heading into resume building time for the men and women on the respective rosters, those drafted and those currently undrafted. We know that everyone is going to get drafted to a respective brand, many of which are going to be announced by the end of tonight's episode, but there's even going to be some names tonight that are going to remain undrafted, and we won't know what roster they're going to be on until we get to next week.
Very curious to see what the commissioners have planned. You know, obviously, getting drafted is nice because it's a nice piece in your resume. You get to say that you were selected, you were handpicked by one of our 2 co-commissioners for an appearance on a brand, but at the same time, I think just getting onto a brand in the first place, regardless of whether you're drafted or not, is kind of the end goal for everybody.
First suplex there by Anna. Right now, Team Let It Go in control of this matchup. Went for a clothesline. Daphne able to sidestep it, was going for something, but now on the receiving end of another reverse suplex.
2 teams reading each other's books. Feels like that happens quite a lot in the women's tag team division. Some knees there by Anna. Going to go into the cover here.
Hooks the leg after the insult to injury, and Velma flies in from stage right to break that up.
Anna not done though.
Oh, the frozen heart connects to the jaw of Daphne. Cover is in, and just like that, Team Let It Go picks up the win.
Stuff from Team Let It Go. Oh,
hold on. Toxic Attraction, Kim Possible, and Shigo hitting the ring and attacking Team Let It Go.
What in the world is going on here?
Undrafted tag team as well in Toxic Attraction here. Maybe not all that happy that Team Let It Go went as early in the draft as they did.
There'll be some further frustrations as well for this tag team here. I'm honestly, I have no idea. I'm kind of at a loss for words what the motivation here is behind that attack.
Whatever the motivation, obviously Team Let It Go in the sights of Toxic Attraction. Kim Possible and Shigo may be frustrated that they still remain in the draft pool. Up next, a couple of people looking to gain some momentum back from Combat Evolved. One-on-one, Shaggy and Baymax. Well, as the FWE draft continues on, we saw the frustration moments ago by Toxic Attraction, and as the next pick by Saturday Night Smash comes in, Jack, the frustration may continue. The losers of that tag team matchup, Mystery Incorporated, headed to Saturday nights.
Massive fall off from that matchup. I mean, we certainly did not expect that one, but how about these other names as well? Peter Pan, Hulk, and how about Kratos being drafted as the last pick here for Saturday Night Smash?
My goodness, we have seen a number of new faces that are going to be making appearances here in Fantasy Wrestling Entertainment, and Kratos, the God of War, is going to be the latest of those. I don't know why, but just looking at that, I want a Hulk versus Kratos match in the future.
How about Thanos against Kratos?
Oh, man.
Lord. They are on the same brand, so it could happen.
Making his way to the ring from San Francisco, California, weighing in at 490 pounds.
Well, I mentioned about it here before we went to commercial break. This matchup is all about regaining some momentum. Both individuals involved in this matchup on the losing end of their respective matchups at Combat Evolved. Baymax coming up short of taking that Wayfinder Cruiser Championship from you a week ago this past Thursday night.
It was definitely an interesting situation for me in that matchup as well. Obviously, Baymax is somebody I've got respect for. I mean, he's the reason why I'm even still here and participating in FWE to this day, but you know, I've never really had to go into a title match, you know, a huge PLE against somebody who I consider a friend. That was certainly an interesting experience, to say the least, but Baymax certainly put up a fight, and I'm curious to see what he'll do tonight against Shaggy.
Well, we saw before your bout for the title, we saw the two of you tag together, and we know that Baymax and yourself both a part of the Saturday Night Smash roster, so it might not be the last time we see you guys tag team together.
Could very well be the case.
Well, Shaggy probably had a little smile on his face backstage when he saw this most recent pick come in, as Velma and Daphne and Mr. Incorporated will be joining him on Saturday nights. But much like Baymax came out of combat involved with an L, suffered a pinfall loss to Michael Norman for the vacant Tri-Wizard Championship. That was the bad news. The good news was he wasn't the one that got cashed in on with the power-up briefcase.
That's the good news for Shaggy. I feel like Shaggy, you're thinking about this matchup for him as well. He wants to very quickly try and get momentum back in his favor because he knows what happened last time he was the Tri-Wizard champion. The reign only lasted a week before he lost the immediate rematch to Dylan Young, so Shaggy knows everything kind of faded into obscurity for him after that. He had some number one contender opportunities, but was never really successful on any of them until the Guardians of the Ring tournament. So he does not want to fall into obscurity again that quickly. He wants to regain momentum as fast as he possibly can.
And you mentioned about that original title reign that took place after he won the belt in an 8-man ladder match at Fantasia, the PLE we will return to this August 2nd.
Baymax showing off the armor for the first time and immediately going to go into the sleeper hold. Shaggy with the neck breaker there to get out of it. Oh, like a jawbreaker, actually.
Mention about Shaggy winning that Guardians of the Ring tournament, had to go through several individuals, a couple of which were larger individuals than himself, having to overcome the height advantage here of Baymax, who had him up against the ropes. Clean break, and now a springboard back elbow by Shaggy.
Punching on that arm now. It might be a little bit more painful hitting those moves now that Baymax wearing that suit of armor, but dish out the offense nevertheless if you're Shaggy and see if you can find a weak point.
It's interesting, we talked about the fact that there's a bit of a dilemma for both Woody and Nick Fury, as a nice springboard splash by Shaggy, and the fact that both brands are going to have to find in situations a new men's world champion and a new women's world champion. You look at this type of a scenario here for Baymax and Shaggy Rogers, a victory here tonight could put them in the conversation for whatever type of matchup, tournament, bracket, whatever have you, for that brand new men's world championship on Saturday nights.
Can very well be the case. It'll ultimately be the calls of the general managers of each brand as we got to cover here. Take out at one. Definitely have to keep our eyes peeled and see how that all shakes out in the coming weeks and see how close we get to determining those new world champions. I mean, I'm really curious to see what those titles are going to look like, what those brands are going to show off. It's going to be worth checking out over the next coming weeks.
It's been a blast to follow the draft here during the course of this past Thursday night into Saturday Night Smash. Congratulations to Nick Fury. He's done an incredible job as the interim commissioner, now the official commissioner on Saturday nights. And great to see Woody back as a split-legged moonsault by Shaggy on Baymax only warrants a 1 count.
Fair point there. Yeah, it is great to see Woody back in action, although I'm really curious to see what his motivation is behind picking RJ Bishop, the man who's taken out of action.
That's got to be like the biggest question mark we're going to have coming out of this draft.
Shaggy on the move. Rock kick to the head knocks Baymax down.
Springboard leg drop as well. Shaggy firing on all cylinders, trying to keep Baymax away from a vertical base. Hits the senton cover in on Baymax. This time gets a 2 count, but still a powerful kick out.
All the motivation in the world for these two right now. They did not emerge victorious from their respective matchups at Combat Evolved. They want to try to get all the momentum they can back in their corner. A win today could go a long way towards doing that.
Couple of drop kicks by Shaggy. First to the knee, then to the back of the head. Baymax rolling to the outside, trying to create a little bit of separation, but wisely Shaggy not going to give him that opportunity.
Dump
Look,
Baymax
Joe!
with, oh my god, over the ref.
Just cleared her to strike with the splash.
That was impressive.
Cover in and a kick out at 1. Man, I wish we had replay assist. I'd love to have seen that again.
That was insane. Baymax sweeping the leg.
All of a sudden, Baymax has got the momentum in his corner. Springboard moonsault. I mean, you've been in the ring with him firsthand. You would look at his size and you wouldn't think he has that athleticism, but shocking ability to take to the skies. There's not even a 1 count there on Shaggy.
I'm sure the work that he's been doing with Hero for those upgrades has definitely come into play here.
Whoa, nice reversal into the hip toss by Shaggy. Now looking to turn the momentum back into his favor.
What is he thinking here?
Oh! Well, Baymax has that helmet, but it doesn't cover the facial area there, and laying in those forearm shots across the faces. Shaggy into the cover, and a kick out at 2.
That could have done it. Baymax finding just enough wherewithal to kick out at 2, and Shaggy going to try and keep the offense in his favor. Another leg drop there connected.
I think that was supposed to be a leg drop, but he almost kind of sat right on the stomach of Baymax.
Oh, look at the strength of Shaggy.
Oh, and now Shaggy in the corner. I think I might know what Shaggy's setting up for. We saw him win the Guardians of the Ring tournament with this. The Scooby Doozer connects. And he's not done.
Is he thinking about another one?
Going to the well again, perhaps. Second time, the charm hits a second Scooby Doozer.
That's gotta be it.
This time, he'll go into the cover, hooks the leg. Shaggy looking for a big win over Baymax, and he'll get it.
Here is your winner, Shaggy Rogers.
You mentioned about trying to build quick momentum towards Fantasia. This may be the first step to doing just that.
Shaggy, a big win for him. Again, like I said before the match, he knows that after losing the belt after 1 week after the first Fantasia, he sort of fell into obscurity very quickly. He does not want to lose that momentum again that quickly.
Well, up next, it's the rematch from Combat Evolved. The new champion, Shuri, faces off against the former champion, Moana, but this time, it's 2 out of 3 falls in our main event. And the final draft pick for Thursday Night Throwdown. It all comes your way up next. What an incredible draft it's been here during the culmination of Thursday Night Throwdown and Saturday Night Smash. The final pick of the night is going to be interesting in terms of the tag team division. The New Groove, former tag team champions, the Outsiders, they're headed to Thursday nights.
And how about the big men as well? Gaston and Maui joining them on Thursday nights. This should be a very interesting round here, seeing how all these picks will shake out here on Thursday night.
Kratos, Hulk, Maui, Gaston, a lot of big beefy boys in the closing stages of the draft here this evening.
Big bodies in the ring for sure here. The powerhouse is definitely making a statement here with these selection points here in the draft, but now we got to turn our attention to the main event.
The following contest is a 2 out of 3 falls match and is for the Women's Universal Championship.
Well, Moana, former Universal Champion, walked into Combat Evolved with the belt, but lost it to the Guardians of the Ring tournament winner, Shuri. Of course, won that Universal Championship on Open Fight Night when she cashed in her power-up briefcase. Now, this is an interesting one here tonight, Jack, much like our main event was this past Thursday night, because a lot rides on this matchup. Remember, we know that the Women's Universal Championship is solely defended on the Saturday Night Smash brand. Shuri by proxy has been drafted to Saturday Night Smash. But if Moana wins here tonight, are Nick Fury and Woody going to have to work out some kind of a deal where Moana jumps ship from Thursday nights to Saturday nights?
Seems like they're going to have to do that because, again, that title exclusive to Saturday night, so that title changes hands. That can be a unique circumstance for those GMs to have to try to work their way through.
First title defense for Shuri after winning the belt at Combat Evolved. And this will be the third time that these two have faced off against each other in one-on-one competition. The first time it was a non-title match. Moana was the winner in that one. Of course, most recently at Combat Evolved, Shuri the victor with the title hanging in the balance. This will be the third matchup between the two. However, in those two previous matchups, you only needed one pinfall or submission to be able to beat the other. This time, you're gonna need at least two.
And the fact that these two agreed to the 2 out of 3 falls stipulations suggests that they feel as though there's a rivalry brewing here that they want to put to an end. A 2 out of 3 falls match, you would think, is sort of the end-all be-all. You can pin or submit your opponent twice in the span of one match. Shows that you can really assert your dominance over that title.
A lot of pressure on both of these women here tonight as we head down ringside to Mike Rome for introductions.
Introducing the challenger from the Isle of Samoa, the Sailor Montana. And her opponent from deep in the jungle, the Women's Universal Champion, the Princess Sherry.
Both these women know each other very well from their previous bouts. What new pages do they have in their playbooks, and what kind of pressure do each one respectively have coming into tonight, in the fact that both of them coming into this evening already knew which brands they were drafted to?
I feel like there's a lot of pressure. Again, we talked about the potential trade between both brands here as well if a title changes hands. Look at them both going for, I think, the same move at the same time. They know there's a ton of pressure, especially if you're Shuri. Didn't even have to get drafted. Cover here by Moana. Get down at 1.
Did I say they know each other well? I think I just proved my point, but right at the opening bell.
Absolutely did. And what an insane night here it has been. A same weekend, really, if you think about it. Cover here real quick.
Cover in by Shuri and kick out by Moana. Of course, as we mentioned, the Women's Universal Championship belt, it will be a mainstay on Saturday nights. Still yet to determine what type of a main title belt there'll be for the women's division over on Thursday nights as Shuri perched on the top rope, Hurricane Rana. Now again, you see the referee Ernest Wright beginning a 10 count. There are countouts and disqualifications in this matchup, and they count just as much as a pinfall or a submission would.
They're going to have to be very mindful of that count from the referee to finish that point earlier. Insane weekend, really, it has been here in Madison Square Garden, determining the rosters for Thursdays and Saturdays. Finding out that we're going to be returning to New York City for our second installment of Paramount. I mean, it seems only fitting that we're going to get a Women's World Championship matchup to close out the evening here.
Absolutely, of course, as well. Our PLE of Fantasia going to be taking place on August the 2nd. Men and women already know what brands they are drafted to during the course of both tonight and recently this past Thursday night. You gotta think that the commissioners will be in full swing and getting things ready for the match card coming up here at the beginning of August. Is Moana going for a springboard senton, Shuri out of the way. Again, seeing a lot of counter for counters here between these two, which makes me think that that first pinfall or submission is going to be crucial in setting the tone.
It usually is in a 2 out of 3 falls match anyway, because you have that mental advantage over your opponent as well. You know, I've already got a pinfall or submission. I only need one more. We can get the first one right here. Kick him at 1 by Moana.
You see the frustration there by Shuri. Now Now top rope, beautiful moonsault going in for the early cover again, trying to go up 1-0, and Moana with another kick out at 1.
And the message there from Moana is it's going to take a lot more than that to keep me down. And the longer this goes without the first pinfall as well, that could build some frustration between these two competitors, because it could take a really long time just to get the first pinfall that you almost forget you need a second one.
Shuri had Moana up on her shoulders. Moana with the go behind. Now locking in the wrists. Going up top. It sends Shuri almost halfway across the ring with the arm drag.
DDT though.
And Shuri
gonna roll the
wisely
outside.
there. Yeah, to the outside. And, you know, obviously you got to get 2 pinfalls or submissions here. How much does champion's advantage come into play, or does that kind of render it non-existent?
I don't really think it is existent in a 2 out of 3 falls match, because yeah, there are DQs, but a DQ in this case is only worth one pinfall or 1 submission. There's not really much of a champion's advantage here.
Oh, Shuri up the top, misses the clothesline. Moana able to get out of the way, now with the go behind. Oh, what in the world is setting up for here? Maybe a standing bulldog.
To the gut there, Moana using that high-flying offense to her advantage, connects with the springboard moonsault, shoots the half, trying to get the first pin and a kick out after all that at 1 by Shuri.
One thing we have to keep an eye on here as well is normal rules as it would be in a 1 pinfall submission matchup. The ropes are out of bounds, and we ended up seeing Moana multiple times in that title defense at Combat Evolved with very bad ring awareness. A couple of times ended up having the referee break up the pinfall or submission because of being close to the ropes. Has almost got herself a pinfall right there.
And again, they were really close to the ropes there. Shuri could have just as easily gotten one of her limbs towards one of the ropes. They'll have good awareness, especially in a 2 out of 3 falls match. Reversal there by Shuri.
Big back elbow, forearm shot. Now kick to the leg, takes her down with a Hurricane Rana, and all of a sudden Shuri turns the matchup around. Standing moonsault, cover in to get 1 fall advantage on Moana, and Moana able to kick out at 2.
This is what I was talking about earlier. The frustration might come into play. It could take so long just to get the first pinfall or submission that, you know, you almost forget in your rage that you got to pick up a second one as well.
Big clothesline to the outside. Now Shuri, what in the world is she thinking here?
Oh,
whoa, my goodness! Going for broke and scoring is Shuri. Moana down, continuing the offense on the outside, and Shuri might be thinking about a count-out victory here, potentially. Now perched on the top rope.
Dive to the outside. Hurricane Rana there.
I believe that's going to reset the referee's count.
It is. Yeah, a count-out victory would count just as much.
Somehow, after all that, Moana now back in control. Knee to the back, had a chin lock there on Shuri. Oh! But now Moana ribs first into those steel steps.
Referee had a count of 5 here. I'm not sure what a double count out would do.
I think it would be 1 pinfall for each, right? It would be next
would think
pinfall or
so.
submission would win the matchup.
Shuri had a chance to reset the count here. Not going to do that. She did not get her feet between the ropes here. Oh my
Count of
goodness!
9 as goes for a clothesline and misses.
I think it did reset the count.
It did. Yup, as soon as she left that top turnbuckle, it reset the count. We're seeing both of these women try and go for that big shot, which I think plays right into what you were saying. They realize the importance of this first fall, and they're willing to risk life and limb to be able to get it.
That's the problem, though. I mean, you're spilling to the outside of the ring. These moves are going to be a bit more painful, especially with that inch-thick padding that we talk about is on the floor ringside. wearing your opponent down and then hitting one move like that can be all it takes.
And I have to wonder, too, with how long we've gone here and we still are sitting at 0-0 in terms of pinfalls and submissions, how much, whoever gets that first pinfall, how much is left in the tank, how much distance between the first and the second fall? You got to think it wouldn't be all that long because we've got to be nearing the exhaustion period for both.
Absolutely, that's a great point. Cover here, this could be it. Shuri with the cover on Moana does not get the 3 count. Still, we have no pins or submissions.
Drop kick to the back by Shuri. Moana down for the time being. And now Shuri's setting up here. What is she thinking? Kick to the gut. Oh, big backbreaker by Shuri. Cover is in to go up 1-0. She will get the first fall.
That's all the momentum in the world for her now because she knows she's only 1 pinfall or submission away from retaining the championship.
Canadian Destroyer there by Moana. It was that vibranium crush that allowed Shuri to go up 1-0. Now the pressure falls to Moana. She has to. This is a must-win situation for her to have to run the table, get back-to-back pinfalls or submissions.
And that was her freebie. There's no second chances after this. You don't get 2 pinfalls or submissions in a row. That's it.
Moana's up top. Could she be setting up for Beyond the Reef?
Oh my.
Ropes. Close to the ropes. And she noticed it. If this were Combat Evolved, I don't think she would have noticed it. But did that waste valuable time into the cover to tie this thing up at 1? And we are knotted up. Next pinfall, next submission wins the Women's Universal Championship.
And that completely changes the complexion of the match, too, because now Moana has all the momentum in her favor. Shuri is still dazed and stunned after taking that Beyond the Reef.
Will Shuri only have a 9-day
got
reign
knees up
as champion? Yes, to your point, turns the tides there with the knees up, drop kick, and now the champ is in control.
Bit of added motivation there for Shuri as well. You do not want this first championship reign to be as short as it is right now.
It is put up or shut up time for both of these women. Next pinfall submission wins the title. We are into the extra innings of this matchup as Shuri springboard Hurricane Rana off the top rope.
For Moana to get to her feet.
Oh, went for the Meteora and missed it.
That's a painful landing.
Saw her holding that left knee. You gotta wonder if that could come into play as this matchup progresses. Moana off the ropes. Hurricane Rana by Shuri.
Wrenching on that arm now, trying to keep that offense going. If you're Shuri, do not slow down. This might be her last window of opportunity. If Moana gets a reversal, and that could change the tide of this matchup again.
Win this matchup, if you win the title, you are guaranteed being a part of the Saturday Night Smash roster. Shuri was already pre-drafted coming in as holding that title. Moana was drafted to Thursday nights, and Shuri setting Moana up, looking for the Wakanda Forever. That could be it. Looking for the second and final fall in this championship matchup, and Shuri retains the title.
What a match. What a war. But Shuri retains the Women's Universal title. She's staying on Saturday nights going forward.
Looks to continue her reign on Saturday nights. Her first title defense a success here this evening. What an incredible couple of nights we've had this week. We now know a majority of the rosters that will represent Thursday Night Throwdown and Saturday Night Smash. The incredible setting here in Madison Square Garden. Cannot wait for what comes up in the weeks leading to Fantasia.
Cannot wait to be back in the Fantasy Dome, but we will see you guys there. We'll be back with Thursday Night Throwdown next coming week. Thanks for watching FWE.